Hello everyone. I hope everyone is doing well, staying healthy and all that. If you hear anything in the background, I am sorry. It is my dogs playing. I wanted to show something real quick. This is my little leather project that I'm working on. I'll put up a picture of what it's supposed to look like after I get it all done, and your results may vary. If you decide to do something like this, well, what I've done is I've cut out these pieces out of a great big piece of leather. So, and then I punched all these little holes in with, where's that thing at? Now this is what I get for not coming prepared. It's like, here's my little hole punches. Now these are from Tractor Supply, of course, because I needed something quick and they were the closest place around for buying any sort of these tools because no other hardware store seems to have them. Anyway, I used one of these. This is I can't remember the size of this. This is a 5/64 hole punch, which comes out roughly to be 2 millimeters, little over 2 millimeters. The plans that were used were by a gentleman, I believe his name is Nick. I'll put a link to his Etsy page. He makes leather goods and all sorts of plans and whatnot. And that's what I was talking about. He makes all sorts of plans and designs, so if anyone is interested, all of these come from him. Anyway, this is something I wanted to show real quick. This is what it looks like before I treat it. Now, how I treat it, now this is what I do. I take about 3/4 of beeswax to about 1/4 of natural oil. So you can use, I wouldn't use linseed oil, but you could use extra virgin olive oil. There's another type of oil that you can use. There are many different types of oils. I'll do some research and look it up. But this is what I used. I used beeswax and, do you mind? Do you mind? Beeswax and extra virgin olive oil. Anyway, I've treated this, but I'm going to rub some more on here. What I do is I'll rub it on to the leather, just like this. Now this is Vegetan leather. This is what this is, Vegetan leather. My dogs have a toy that they're fighting over for some reason. They do this all the time. Now this is what happens. Now this is a heat gun, basically a beefed up version of a hairdryer. I think this is Wagner. Get them. DeWalt has them. Black & Decker has them. A lot of places have them. Anyway, when you heat it up, it opens up the pores. I don't know if I can, and it turns. Turns it brown. So you got that nice look. What this will also do is this will protect your leather from rain and whatnot. But if you can see, it's the before and after. And then when I'm done, it'll look something like this. Now what I like to do is after I get done with the whole thing, this is only my second leather project, so if you see any mistakes in it, like these little tied off spots here, and there's a couple other little mistakes that you'll find if you look at it hard enough. But we are our own worst critics, right? I'm missing, I need a belt keeper here, and I didn't think about getting one or making one. I was just sort of, it's a little stiff because it's new. This is inside the pocket. And this is just a 3/4 inch buckle that you can get. Tandy Leather has them. There's a place that I go to here where I live, and this is just a little press fit. It's just a little box in there because this is a stiff, so I need something to press against, but this is just a little press fit, little latch. These things will loosen up over time. And then I used, here's some of the string I use. You can get this. The place that some people will like to go is like Michael's or any sort of craft store. A lot of craft stores, unfortunately, don't have a great selection of tools that you can use in terms of leather making. Now let me move you over here real quick. Here's my little granite block here. I picked this thing up at Goodwill. It was a tabletop someone was donated, and it was actually a little end table, and I just took the top off. This is a piece of railroad track. Here's my other one. Now let me tell you something. I don't know if you can see this, but I had to actually get another one of these. This was my original one. And what happened was, I don't know if you can see this, but if you look right here, that's a split. That's what happens when you don't have one of these poly boards. This is the tape I use to tape down my, I use masking tape to tape down my patterns. Again, this is Nick's pattern. It's not my pattern. Anyway, but if you don't have a poly board, that means if you're going to be hitting something, get a little piece of leather here. Well, this isn't the right hammer that I use. I can't seem to find my other one right now. I guess I picked it up and moved it somewhere. I don't know where it's at. This is what happens when you're not very organized. Remember, kids, organize your stuff. It's easier to find. Anyway, this is a split one, okay? So when you go to punch something out, you can still do it, but if you look at the hole, okay? Now what I like to do is I like to just do a little tap, okay? And you see that hole? Now, here's one that's not split. How much cleaner the hole is. See that? That's what happens when you split these things. So if you do it over a non-cutting surface, you don't even want to do it over a piece of wood, because they tend to splinter up, and it won't help a great deal. I mean, it'll help some, but it still may flatten out your ends here. You'll get these will be flat. These things right here will become flat. And it's a little French skive, however you say it, skive. Anyway, another tool that you can use, and these are common. You can probably find these at Michael's. I think I found this one at Lowe's or Home Depot, or something like that. It's a little punch wheel. You've probably seen these. Anyway, I split this one too. So these things can split. Now this particular model, you can't change these things out, but if you start going up in price and whatnot, you can start changing these things out. And of course, there's a tool that you need. I say you need a heat gun. You need some sort of hammer. Of course, some leather. These are wire cutters. You don't need wire cutters. Oh, something else you probably should invest in is a little sanding block. Because when you start cutting these things out, you're going to get these little, like, I'm not the greatest at cutting, so my cuts are a little lopsided. They're supposed to be straight up and down, like that. That's straight up and down. I actually used the right knife on this one, if my camera would focus. There we go. Nope, lost it. See, and it's more straight up and down, and this one's more bubbled. Not supposed to be bubbled. I guess we are our own worst critics right then, huh? Anyway, just a little thing I wanted to say. Just my little project that I'm doing since we're all under quarantine. But I hope everyone will find some interest in picking up a new hobby during these tumultuous times, I guess, if that's the right word. And to pull my $5 word jar out and use that one. But if you find that you need something to do, and you happen to be somewhere that you can get a hold of some material. Now I made mine out of leather, and you can use you can do the same thing out of cloth. You can do it out of old jean material. If you got textiles, you can do textiles. You can do pretty much, you can do a lot with a lot of things. You just gotta go out and look for it. Anyway, I guess that's all I got to say for this one. Possibly, I don't know. I may come up with something else to say in this video. If I don't, then this video will end here.